Welcome to the Lake Asia Pacific Sangha Retreat. Normally we call it Lake Core Sangha, but now we remove the core. So we call it Asia Pacific Sangha Retreat instead of calling it holiday retreat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What matters is we are here and we can enjoy being here fully. And this retreat, I think we will have a chance to study and practice together on the 14 verses on meditation composed by our teacher. Hopefully we can, I think we only have a general study about it because there are 14 yanas and verses, and in 3 Dhamma talks we cannot cover them all. But of course we try to make it practical for everyone. And Thầy Pakam said that this retreat will be, we continue as something like a 21-day retreat in Plum Village in France. But it's only 10 days in Asia. It's suitable for Asian people. In this 10 days annual retreat, we will have a chance to learn in depth the sutras and sastra, hopefully. So please keep on coming to this retreat. In order to have a very fruitful and wonderful retreat for all of us, we, the monastic, we will chant, invoking the name of Avalokitesvaraya, the Bodhisattva who has a great energy of understanding and love. And we can call her name so that to allow this energy of understanding and compassion to emerge in every one of us, so that we can have a very transformative, fruitful retreats in the next 7 days actually. And this is also a moment of the end of the year, so that we can all come together and have a deep reflection about our life, what has gone through in our lives in the last year, and what can we do to renew ourselves so that the year can be new. Because Thầy said that the new year can only be new if we are new. If we are not new, then the year is still the same. So Avalokitesvaraya is a person. Actually, in Theravada tradition, this figure is not recognized. But in Mahayana Buddhism, Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvaraya, or other Bodhisattva is recognized in the practice. And we know that Bodhisattvas are not a historical person. It is made by us. They are the figure that we want to is kind of personalized. But we know that the energy of compassion, understanding, and love are real. And this wonderful energies is there in everyone. So when we practice, whether we practice walking meditation, or breathing meditation, or sitting, or eating, or whatever we do, even chanting, we can we practice in such a way that we can be able to touch this seed within us and allow us to manifest, because we know that only understanding and love can heal us, can help us transform our suffering, our pain, and the suffering that is happening in the world, in the society, in our family. So chanting is not a practice of devotion. It is a real practice. So when the monastic evoke the name of Avalokitesvaraya, for the first time, they direct that energy of love and compassion towards themselves. Because as monastic, we are still also human beings, and we always be human beings. And we do have some amount of suffering and pain in the body and mind. So we also practice chanting in order to, first of all, heal ourselves, because we cannot help other people heal themselves if we are not able to heal ourselves, to transform ourselves. So the first time that they evoke the name of Avalokitesvaraya, they direct that energy of love and compassion and peace within themselves, toward themselves, so that they can get healed and transformed. When they evoke the name for the second time, they send that energy to the people around them, in front of them, on the left, on the right, or behind them. Because there are people who also who suffer a lot, who also have a lot of pain in the body and suffering in the mind, and they need this supportive, collective energy of mindfulness, of compassion and love, so that they can receive the healing and the transformation. So when you listen to the chant, you also practice listening deeply, mindfully, with love and compassion. Even you don't chant, but you just allow this beautiful, wonderful energy of mindfulness and love and emit from the sound of the chant. And the sound of the chant is also the sound from their hearts. So you only need to allow yourself to rest, to relax, and open your body, open your mind, to allow this wonderful energy of mindfulness and compassion to penetrate into your body and to your mind, so that healings and transformation can take place. You don't have to try to listen, you just listen, simply. And you don't just listen to the sound or the chant of the monastics, but you also listen to your own body, your own mind. Listen to, you might find that in your body there is tension and pain. And sometimes the pain and the tension is so big and that you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to deal with it. And you become very panic and fear, worries. So you just recognize it and smile to it and allow the chant, allow the energy of mindfulness that we together generate to penetrate into your body and receive the relaxation and allow your body to heal itself. You also listen to the suffering in your mind, because you may have some block of suffering. And again, you just surrender yourself to the Sangha. Allow the collective energy of mindfulness that we are generating through the practice of chanting and deep listening to allow that pain, that suffering to be embraced by the Sangha and to get healed. And normally our teachers say that when you have suffering inside of yourself and you feel it is so huge that you cannot yourself embrace it. But if you jump into the Sangha boat, the Sangha boat is very big. It can carry a lot of tons of suffering and still be okay. If you have a rock and you throw it into a lake, the rock can sink very quickly. But if you pour tons of rock into a boat, a ship, the ship can still carry it. So the Sangha is like a ship, a boat, Sangha boat. So you allow yourself to sit in the Sangha boat and you will be safe. So when the monastic chant for the third time of the name of Avalokitesvaraya, they will direct that energy to those places that there are still have war, conflicts, injustice, and there are people who live a little bit elsewhere in the world. They suffer a lot, physically and mentally, and they don't know the way out. So this light of mindfulness, of compassion, understanding will travel to those places and help them heal themselves. And you might think that how is that possible? We know that the mind is very powerful. You know that in quantum physics, one electron can be in different places at the same time. and they can communicate very well, and they understand the nature of each other. So it is possible that our mind, when we send a good thought to someone or to some places, they can receive it. And if you have someone who is so dear to you and who is not here, but he or she is in a very bad state of physical health or mental health, and they need your support. Yeah. So you can sit here and you can generate that energy of peace, of love and compassion, and you just think about that person and send that energy to him or to her. And for sure, he or she will receive it. Because the butterfly flap her wings in Asia, and it can create a rain in Europe. The scientists can measure that. So it is possible. And if you open your hearts and you can think of people who are in the hospital or who are suffering desperately in the place where there is a lot of injustice and conflicts and war and poverty, you can also send that energy to those places, because hell can be found on earth. And there are many hells happening a little bit everywhere in the world. So the essential of the practice of mindfulness or compassion is that when you are able to allow the seed of compassion and love spring up in your heart, and happiness is possible. So we don't just say, oh, the flower is so beautiful, I feel so happy with the flower. That is good, but it's not enough. Only when you have a lot of compassion, you have love within yourself, then happiness is complete. So, dear Sangha, just allow yourself to sit relaxingly. You don't have to try to sit, and you don't have to try to breathe. Just allow your body to breathe in and out as naturally as the way it is, and just recognize it and enjoy your breath. Listen to your body, your mind. Open your hearts to allow the chant to penetrate into yourself. You don't have to join your palm. The monastic will join their palm when they chant. You just allow yourself to rest, to relax. And there are cases that people receive the transformation and healing right during the chant. And there are people who cry when they listen to this, and the tears of happiness come. So if you feel like you want to cry, yeah, allow yourself to cry. Good morning, dear Thầy, dear Sangha. Happy to sit up here because the image up here is more beautiful. So colorful, so wonderful. All the different faces, different people from different countries coming together and sit on the same boat. Today we were asked to share orientation. On my left here, it's my right, your left. is the Nghiêm. Nghiêm means amazing and outstanding, AO. So this is her first time giving orientation. So she's all out, which is AO. It's the owl. And please give her support. Wonderful, blooming like a rose. And I'm Brother Pháp Trạch, Brother Potato, Brother Coconut, and AKA Fast Track. And I'm all in. I'm all interested in why so many people are coming here today. Why are we here today? Why come to this place in the middle of nowhere? Maybe Google Maps have not updated yet. Why we want to come here? And let me ask, how many of us come here for holidays? How many of us are serious about the practice? That's why you're here. Some serious people. How many of us are forced to be here by our friends and our family? Oh, okay. Anyway, we all have something in common, I think. And what we have in common here is we come here to relax. Whether we are on holiday, whether we are serious, whether we are forced to be here, we all need to relax. So please, relax. And we also need to relax because it's hard to be up here. This retreat, we have a chance, like Brother Pháp has shared, we will have a chance to go in depth in the practice of the 14th verse, which is the practice of stopping and looking deeply, samatha and vipassana. It sounds very technical, but relax. That's what we're here to do. It will be very easy to understand. As we already heard that as we come here, everybody will start to freeze when they hear the sound of the bell. If you have not been to Plum Village or have not known Plum Village, you might not be looking at it strangely, why people are stopping, why people are freezing when they hear the sound of the bell. That is the practice of stopping. When we hear the sound of the bell, whether it is this bell, or the giant bell out there, or the bell, activity bell, or the clock bell that chimes every 15 minutes, we have a chance to come back to ourselves. We have a chance to stop. To stop and to be able to look deeply at what we are doing in this moment, where we are, and what we are, and how we are. And so when we
hear the sound of the bell, we come back to our breathing, which our sister will share with us more in depth. So whenever you hear the sound of the bell, stop what we're doing and come back to our breathing and just breathe, and then relax. Relaxing is very important. If we cannot relax, then we cannot practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a very light energy that allows us to relax, that allows us to be at ease and be at home with our body, be at home with where we are, which is our true home. Our true home is not someplace. Our true home is in the here and in the now. And we can only feel it when we are able to relax, be in the here and the now. We can recognize our breathing. We can recognize our body. We can recognize what is happening in front of us and around us. Sister, are you okay? If you're okay, then I'll pass the microphone to you. You ready? Okay. So, I'll let my sister share whatever she wants to share, and I'll share more later. Thank you.
Good morning, dear respected dear brothers, sisters, and dear friends. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here. For me, your presence is a beautiful gift because I know that you have arranged your schedule, your work, and spend your own time to come here and practice with us. And even though we only have a few days together, but with the practice, I hope that will bring us a lot of peace, happiness, and smile. Few days ago, with the mindful breathing, with the mindful breathing, I'm aware that my heart is beating faster, and I get nervous a little bit because this is the first time I sit in front of many people like this. And a few days ago, my elder sister, who is in the organizing team of this retreat, she came to me and asked me to come up here, but she said that, oh my dear younger sister, don't be worried about anything. You just come up there and sit beside Brother Pháp Trạch and make a background for his sharing. Only to be there, don't need to say anything, just relax and listen his sharing, just like that. And at that time, I was thinking it's easy because for me, it's not different. Instead of sitting like the position like you, I come up here and sit near my elder brother. And but when I'm sitting here, I recognize that it's not easy as I think. But sitting next to Brother Pháp Trạch, I slowly feel the energy of peace that radiates from his practice, that help my worries are calmed. And in the monastery, he is my elder brother, but he is also my English teacher, also. And this is a big challenge for me. Dear friends, sometime in our daily life, there is someone who, when we have an opportunity to sit beside him or her, we are easy to feel the energy of peace and safety from them. I always get those feelings when I sit near my teacher, my thầy, and sometimes I ask myself, can I cherish the energy of peace and happiness with myself, with my practice, or the peaceful energy that's just from the object outside of me? Actually, sometimes I also felt lonely very much. Do you believe it? Yes, I am. It's true. I am a nun, but a nun is also a human being, and I also have the all mental formation and feelings like you. And I remember there was moments I have encountered the big problems, the big difficulties in my mind or in the situation that I live in, and I was up and down a lot in the emotional waves. And at that moment, I got feeling that there is no one can understand me and help me. But with the practice of mindful breathing, I have an opportunity to come back to myself and look deeply into my state, my situations, and I am able to be aware of what is going on inside me and around me, including the suffering and happiness. And I recognize that the difficulties or the suffering are always there, but the happiness and peace are also there. And in our life, we have many purposes, we have many wishes, we have many things that we want to do perfectly, but there are two things that we should learn. The first thing we should learn how to nourish our happiness, nourish our wholesomeness in earth. And the second, we learn how to transform our suffering, transform our unwholesomeness in earth. And nourishing happiness and transforming suffering are very, very crucial. And each of us has this energy is very strong. It pulls us away of the life in the present moment. We are sunk into the regrettable mistake in the past, or we are pushed in the future. Even in the present moment, we also get into the meaningless thinking, and our body is in one place, but our mind is often another place, and our body and mind are dispersed, and the energy in us is dispersed also. And that's why when we face to the problem, face to the difficulty, we feel at loss, and we don't have enough the energy of peace and solidity to resolve it, to handle it, and we will get more the stress, tension, or anger into our body and mind. And in the state of disturbance of body and mind, how can we know to nourish our happiness and transform our suffering? Our happiness cannot be possible when we are not available in the present moment. But in the moment, we know how to come back to follow our breathing. So the mindful breathing is like a bridge to link our body and mind with the present moment immediately. For example, when we put our hand on our abdomen, become aware of our in-breath and our out-breath, and be aware of our abdomen rising and falling as we breathe in and out. And at that moment, we can feel that the life is truly. And please put your hand on your belly and listen one sound of the bell. We will try it. When the sound of the bell is invited, we just pay attention to our in-breath and out-breath. Just pay attention to the rising and falling of our abdomen. And in this moment, we don't think about anything. Thank you, friends. Our breathing is always there, but we always forget it. We remember something. And there are some principles that help us to follow our breathing easier. The most easy way is counting the breathing. It's the easy way for us to practice. For example, breathing in, we count 1. Breathing out, we count 1. Breathe in, we count 2. Breathing out, we count 2. We breathe and count from 1 to 10 and then start over again. And all the way through following and counting the breathing. If there is some notion or idea come up into our mind, it pulls us to anywhere or interrupt the process of counting breathing, we start counting over. We start begin. We start again counting number 1, and paying attention completely to the counting of breathing that help stopping our monkey mind, because we are always thinking. We think about this or about that, like a monkey. It never has still one place, never jump one branch to another branch. And another way how us to follow our breathing. And when we breathe in, we know that we are breathing in. When we breathe out, we know that we are breathing out. And knowing is this awareness. If our in breath or out breath are long or short, let it be long or short. Don't need to try to make it longer or shorter. Or if our breathing is not peaceful or calm, let it be like that. We just become aware of it. And after practicing mindful breathing for a while, the quality of our breathing will be improved naturally. And that's why we don't need to control it. Our in-breath will become deeper and our out-breath becomes slower. And our breathing will become more peaceful and more harmonious. And when we breathe like that, our mind will be present with our body. And when we are truly present, we have the capacity to recognize the beautiful things in us and around us easily. And we can be nourished a lot. And each moment in our life, there are many mental formations that go through our body and mind. And all of them want to be manifested, want to be concerned. And sometimes our body and mind have many different desires, and they lead us to the 10 directions. And we don't know what do we need or what do we have to do, and we feel shaky or panic. And at that time, if we know how to come back to follow our breathing, it will help unify all desires in us and unify all cells in us, and it leads them to the one direction, and we are truly alive. And at that time, we will know that what do we need to do for ourselves. And I have to get more. In science, my literature, there is some words I forget. In science, they use focusing lens. They use focusing lens in order to gather the sun rays to burn something. And when the sun rays are concentrated on one point, it can create a powerful heat, very strong, and it can burn something like a paper or dry leaf. And the mindful breathing is like a focusing lane. And at the moment we do mindful breathing, so the energy of mindfulness is generated at the same time. If we continue to follow our breathing, the energy of the mindfulness is bigger and bigger, and it can generate the other kind of energy, that is concentration. And the energy of concentration can burn our mental formation and our suffering or our difficulty. And in the Buddhism, one of the function of meditation is burn. Burning does not mean that we make our mental formation, our suffering disappear, or we make it empty. Burning does mean that we use the energy of mindfulness and concentration to recognize and look deeply into our suffering or our difficulty, and we get the insight of intervening. Because the internal or our suffering or mental formation is manifested from many elements. It cannot be manifested by itself. And when our suffering or difficulty are transformed, it does not become emptiness. It becomes the other kinds of energy, the energy of love, understanding, compassion, and peace, and happiness, and so on. And in case with the good seeds, the wholesome seeds in earth, with the practice of mindful breathing, it can embrace it and make it bigger, because the energy of mindfulness and concentration is not only burning but also embracing and nourishing the object. And the practice of mindful breathing can take place to anywhere and at any time. It's not only in the sitting meditation. We can do it all the kinds of position of our position in our daily life, whether standing, walking, eating, or washing bowl, and so on. And don't wait until we are faced into the problems or the difficulties. We just started practicing the mindful breathing. It will be late. And the last thing I want to share, please don't abandon our body and mind to find a good thing or a good person that is outside us in order to rely on. It's only an illusory. With the mindful breathing, that helps us we will have an opportunity to come back to ourselves and look deeply into our body and mind, and we will discover that we already have enough, and each of us is the beautiful gift in this life. That's why we don't need to find anything outside of us. Thank you for listening. Have a very English teacher.
A for outstanding. A for amazing and O for outstanding. That's her name, as we can see. Let us hear one more sound, the bell, to read. as my sister have shared, mindful breathing is applied to every aspect of our activities, including eating, sitting, standing, walking, cleaning the toilet, etc. and etc. Everything we do, we try to come back to our breathing. If we are skillful, then we can combine our breathing with the activity that we do as we move our hand, like the mindful movement that we do this morning during walking meditation. We can apply that into the exercise. As everyone are sitting so beautifully, I would like to share about sitting meditation. Many of us already know how to sit, quite comfortable. You been sitting here very long already, more than an hour. And your back might be a little bit painful, so you can switch your position any way you like, it's okay. Relax. But when you do sitting meditation, please find a cushion that is comfortable to your posture. You can sit full lotus position where, well, this Buddha. That's the half lotus position, where one foot on top of the other. And the full lotus is you sit cross-legged. You don't have to try. I think it's easier to sit like the Buddha up here. Easy for most of us. But if we are able to do cross-legged, the full lotus position, I think is the most solid and stable position. We sit in a way that we have 3 points touching the earth. Our 2 knees and our buttocks, our bottom. And our back is settled in these 3 points where we can feel the energy is centered. So we move our back in a way so the spinal cord, it is supported by this posture. Our upper body is supported, all the weight also is divided evenly into the 3 pillars so that we are more solid like a mountain. We may sit full lotus, half lotus, or Burmese styles, or mermaid style, like Thai people, they sit like a mermaid style. Japanese, they sit on their knee. Anyway, it is supported by these 3 pillars. It's not as important how we sit or what way we sit, but it's important how we cultivate our mind during our sitting. First thing we need to do is when we do sitting meditation is to come back to our breathing. Our sister have already shared very well about breathing, so we come back to our breathing. Our breathing, when we start to breathe, it's like we synchronize all the energy in our body together into one places. Because like Brother Pháp shared this morning, the electrons communicate with each other. So when we breathe, that actions of breathing connects all the parts of our body together, connects all the cells in our body, and doing one action. So when we breathing in, all the cell is united, connected, and ready for the action. So breathing in, we feel the energy is centered in the middle. Breathing out. We feel the breathing from our nose, and it seems like there is a center, invisible center line in us. When we breathe in, all the energy is gathered into that center. Like when we burn a candle, all the wax come into the wick. So it's like that. Breathing in, feel center. Breathing out, relax. It's important that we breathe so that we can relax our body. This relaxing energy helps us to generate a sense of peace, calmness, and if we are unable to relax, then we cannot go further into meditations. So that is practice of stopping. When we're breathing in, right away we practice stopping, samatha. Which means all of the energy, dispersed energy in our body and in our mind begin to come together and settle down. And we feel slowly, we'll feel at ease with our body and we feel relaxed. And that is stopping. That's the first thing we need to do. There are 6 steps that I usually share when doing sitting meditation. First is to breathe in and breathe out. This is to be in contact, which is our breath. So be in contact with our in-breath and out-breath. First thing we need to do. Whatever we do, that is the first thing we need to do. To see if we're still breathing. To see if we're still alive. If we are still alive, then we're okay. Then we can continue. So breathing in, and now I'm breathing in, breathing out, and now I'm breathing out. First thing to do. Secondly, the process goes when we start to do like that, the sense of the energy is gathered and we have a sense of focus. A sense of focus. And what to do, the second step is to follow our breathing. At first, when we come back to our breathing in and out, it's not yet focused. It's like when you have a camera and you want to take a picture of something, the camera will begin to focus, right? At first it's like blur, but then slowly it focuses. A lot of us know how to take pictures, right? Everyone have a camera. It's the same thing as practicing mindfulness of breathing. When you breathing in, breathing out at first, it's a little bit blurry. Our mind is not yet clear of the breathing. But as we follow our breathing, there's a sense of focus. So So, second thing to do when we do sitting meditation is to follow breathing. Breathing in, I follow my in breath. Breathing out, I follow my out breath. So your mind, as the breath goes in, the mind is there. And as it goes out, the mind is there. It's not like you focus because you're not thinking of anything else. It's not like, breathing in, I forgot to turn off the light. Breathing out. Your mind is there. It's totally there. Your mind doesn't go somewhere else. So there is a focus. And this is the beginning of the process of concentration. Like our sister have shared, that when you have a magnifying glass and you put that under the sun rays and slowly focus in and it burn. And as we do that, we can feel this energy of oneness, body and mind at one. So, oneness. So, the practice of being oneness is to be with your body. So after being focused in, then we can expand our sight out to our whole body. As we feel together, this energy is in, and then we can slowly feel our whole body as our sitting body. So we breathe in and out with our body. Feel our body feeling at ease, and the fourth, as we look at in our body, we can go further and investigate what is going on in my body. We start to practice looking deeper into what is going on with our body. As we look at our body, we know, my shoulder is a little bit tense, so I need to relax. Oh, my breathing is like this, so I need to breathe further, etc. So you investigate into what is going on with you, with what you're feeling, with what you're thinking, with all the process of your mind that is happening in this moment. You just recognize what is going on, and to see what can you do with this energy. And when you look into and recognize and look into what is happening with your body, or with your feeling, or with what is going on in your mind, you will have a chance to have insight. You may have insight about what is going on. Oh, I'm feeling backache because I'm sitting in the wrong position. Oh, my mind is thinking about someone because I have a little difficulty with that person. So everything is happening in your body, in your mind. You are able to recognize, and you can see where it comes from, what comes to be, where it comes from, how I'm like that. And certain insight will come, and you will know what to do and what not to do. And this insight you can see through the interbeing nature of that situation in your mind, or you can see the impermanent nature, or you can see the non-self nature of that thing that you investigate in. And then the last thing you need to do is to let go. It is important that when we do sitting meditation, after we get insight, or if we do not get any insight, we also need to learn to let go. Let go of what is happening. Let go so that we can relax. We can be back to the present moment. And letting go simply by just breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the first step. Practice breathing in, breathing out. Before we end our sitting meditation, it's always needed to let go. We need to let go. Relax. Things will take care of itself. As a gardener, we only need to plow the land, and we allow the seeds of what is we've been contemplating. We are like a gardener. We just do the land and planting the seeds. And that's why we need to let go and let the earth, the mind earth, to grow. All the conditions, if it enough conditions, it will grow. Insight will come. Transformation will come. So we don't need to worry. So when we do sitting meditation, sometimes we don't need to do anything. We just need to sit. Like our sister have shared that when we have a difficulty or something, when we do sitting meditation, try not to do anything. Just breathe. Just breathe, recognize, and let the energy come, stay, and then it will go away. It is the impermanent nature of everything. It comes, it stays, and it goes. And we have to allow this kind of impermanence to be happening. Or else, if we try to push it away or attach to it, then we will create internal knots in our mind. And this is where the problem is. The problem comes when we have attachment to it, we are aversion, we push it away. And all the other mental formation arise from there. Hating, anger, all that kind of energy is come together when we generate negative energy when we do sitting meditation. We're like fighting. When we fight, then all that negative energy comes together. But when we allow it to relax and just let it be, then the wholesome energy have a chance to grow. In the next few days, our brothers and sisters will share in depth into how we practice the sutras, Anapanasati Sutra, the Sutra on full awareness of breathing, and the four establishment of mindfulness, and Buddhist psychology. This is what we will learn in the next few days, which go in depth into how to take care of our suffering, how to take care of, to nourish ourselves, etc. We are just giving orientation, so we share just an overview. I think my sister wants to share about eating. Yeah. You don't like to eat?
So, dear brother and sister and dear friends, when I do orientation with him, and because I'm his younger sister, that's why I choose first the basic practice, what I want to share, and I choose to share the practice of eating meditation. And she said that you are so small. How can you share about eating meditation? And I said that even though I'm small, but in the world, that is the standard.
Everyone in the world wants to be slim right now, so she's perfect for that.
Thank you. So, but for me, eating a meal in mindfulness is an important practice. We often have 3 meals a day to nourish our body. It's a natural thing, but the food and the way we eat our mind can be nourished a lot. And that's why we should try to offer our fully present for every meal. And as we serve our food, we can already begin practicing. And serving ourselves, we recognize the food, what we need for our body. And when we serve ourselves food, and then bring it to this hall, and at the time we don't need to feel that we are waiting for the other people to serve themselves food and be seated. We have to do is breathe and enjoy sitting. And we have not eaten our meal yet, but with the mindful breathing, we already begin we already feel joy and gratitude, or standing in line to wait for serve ourselves food. We don't need to waste our time. we take that time to be aware of our in-breath and out-breath, notice our body and relax. And instead of waiting, we can generate the energies and peace and joy by the practice mindful breathing. And many of us have the habit energy that we usually thinking when we eat, and our mind is not there. And when our mind is not present, we look but we don't see, and we eat but we don't know the flavor of the food, and we think, even though we are eating, but we think about the past or the future or something, and we don't eat the food with something inside in our head. And if we know how to breathe, we can establish our body and mind with the present moment. And when we are fully present, we can recognize the food in front of us. And that's very real. And please don't chew our worries, anxiety, or projects. If we chew our planning or anxieties, it's difficult to enjoy or to feel grateful for each piece of food. And looking at the food in front of us, we recognize clearly the rice, the vegetable, the tofu, or the carrot in our bowl. And looking deeply into the bowl of food, we also realize many elements such as the rain, the sunshine, or the soil, or we are taking care of brother and sister, or friends who have prepared and cooked for us today, and all have come together and help the food manifest. When we hold our bowl filled with fragrant food, we recognize that we are so fortunate, because we know that every day thousands of people and children in the world who suffer and die for hunger because they don't have enough the food to eat. And that's why before every meal we will practice listen 3 sounds of the bell, or especially every lunch we will have the 5 contemplation that will be read. At the time we join our palms in mindfulness, and by the practice of mindful breathing we generate the energy of peace, love, and understanding, and then send it to those who don't have enough food to eat. And with this energy in our heart, our food will become delicious and tastier. And please remember, when you come to this retreat, we will have plenty of time for every meal. Each meal we have 20 minutes to enjoy in silence, so that please eat slowly, and we chew each mouthful quietly and carefully from 20 to 30 times. Don't need to be hurried. But the practice is very flexible. For noodle and rice soup, we cannot chew from 20 or 30 times. And but please don't forget that we have plenty of time to eat. That's why don't be hurried. And before putting a spoonful of food into our mouth, we can spend 1 or 2 seconds to look at it and recognize what we are eating. Maybe is this a carrot, is this tofu, or piece of rice spoon, and we can call its name silently. This is a carrot, this is a tofu, because sometimes we call something is by its name. It helps us touch and enjoy deeply. And after putting a spoonful of food into our mouth, let our hands relax, because we have the habit even though in our mouth we have food, but another hand stir in our bowl and prepare a next spoonful of food, and that is a habit of hurry. Not hungry. Thank you, teacher. And when we chew, we can feel the food is mixed well in our mouth, and please do each bite until the food is liquid in our mouth before we swallow. And the two important things we can remember when we eat together, we just focus to the food we are eating and our friends who are sitting around us. And at that time, we don't need to talk at all. Just offer our smile is enough. And in order to deepen our practice of mindful eating and support the atmosphere, the peaceful atmosphere, we remain seated during the silent period, and at the end of the time of this time, to sound the bell will be invited, and we may then start a mindful conversation with our friends, or begin, or you can get more food if you need. But for the breakfast, please start mindful talking with our friends after washing bowl. And when we are finished our meal, we also practice noble silence when we wash our dishes at the washing area. And washing dishes as like we are washing a baby, and by doing so, our joy and peace can be nourished, can be grow up a lot. And when we are standing in the sink with our hands into the water, we can feel the fresh water, we can feel the soft of the soap. It's very nice and real. That's why we can take all the time to apply the practice, and it can nourish us a lot. And I hope that this afternoon, we will have a good meal together. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. We don't have a lot of time to share all the Dharma doors. And so I was just gonna share another practice, and all the other practice like walking meditation. What your group coordinator have already shared with you, or not yet, then they will share later. And that's all the Dhamma. She just mentioned noble silence. Noble silence, in order for it to be noble, you need to be noble. Noble silence is observed after the last activity of the night until early after washing our dishes. Yes. And noble silence here meaning not only silence of the speaking, but silence in our mind. In the night before we go to sleep, It is wonderful that we are able to settle down our mind so that we can go to sleep. There's a lot of things that happen during the day, many contacts, many informations coming in ourselves through the six senses, and then there might be disturbance in our mind. And it's important that we learn how to let it settle. At the last activity, when you walk to your dome, you might want to do slow walking meditation, where each step is accompanied by your breathing. You breathe and you walk slowly to your dome, so that you have a chance to send all that energy down to the floor. Send all the energy to Mother Earth and she will take care of it. It's at the same time you settle your mind, your earth mind. And when you are able to do that, then peaceful sleep is possible. When you go home to your bed, you can lay down on your bed and practice total relaxation. Just breathe and scan your body until you are able to sleep. So it's like when you have a glass of hot water. At first, the steam will rise. Many things arise in your mind like steam. But if you let it settle down, it will cool down and the steam also rests. It's like to cool down your mind. So, not try to disturb it by speaking to one another or to do something that is exciting. Allow yourself to settle. This energy not necessarily have to practice during the night, but throughout our day. Throughout our day, learn to calm our mind. Learn to relax our body. Learn to calm our body, calm our mind. That is the true noble silence. We try not to speak about worldly things as we are here. Not to talk too much about politics, talk too much about this person, that person. But come back to be with yourself more. To be in the moment. To be with the healing energy of nature. To smile at one another. We already talk a lot. We don't need to talk and disturb our mind more. So if we have a chance to practice, use that time to practice. Not to talk too much. Give that time to listen to birds. Enjoy the flower. Enjoy the swing. We are very happy that we all come here together and each one of us can generate the energy of mindfulness and we can support each other by our practice. It is wonderful to practice with the big community, with the Sangha. Each one of us is a bell of mindfulness for each other. As we see someone walk mindfully, it helps us to cultivate mindfulness right away, and we begin to also do mindful walking. So everyone is a reflection of each other. So what we do peacefully will affect the peace of other people. And what we do unmindfully also affect the unmindful of other people. So we support each other in a way that can benefit each other by doing mindful things together. So thank you for your deep listening to our English lesson today. We hope that you are happy. Give a hand to our sister. Thank you very much. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy your retreat.